Hey everybody, it's Brittany here from My Core Floor, back for a broadcast with Britt. And this week's broadcast is going to be based off a question I got during the 12 Days of Fitness exercise series that we did a few weeks back. So during one of the days, during the 12 Days of Fitness, somebody asked me what the reason was for all the arm motions. So one of the days, I think in particular, we were just doing kind of an overhead reach with rotation while we were standing and just letting our torso rotate. And so she wanted to know what was the purpose of that, knowing that the goal is obviously to turn on and activate our pelvic floor to help with problems such as incontinence and pelvic pain. So I thought, what an awesome question for a broadcast with Britt. And since we just released, the full PDF of all the 12 Days of Fitness exercises, if you didn't get it and want it, shoot me an email below so that I can send it to you. I thought it would be a great question to jump on and answer now that hopefully you guys are all in there doing your pelvic floor workouts. So the reason for the upper body motion. Our pelvic floor, if you remember from, I've talked about it in some of the other What is Your Pelvic Floor videos that have been posted in Facebook, but also if you remember in my membership site, I have education videos in there and I've talked about it in there, but the pelvic floor has muscle fibers that run in multiple directions. So some run more vertical, some run more horizontal, some kind of wrap around. So the pelvic floor is activated through multi-directional movement. So the pelvis itself, if my hands are the pelvis, has to be able to move forward and back, side to side, and to rotate, as well as move vertically to really turn on all those pelvic muscles so that they work in your favor and do what they're supposed to do. The arm motions help to drive our pelvis in different directions is one of the first reasons we do our arm motions. So some of the overhead motions we might do help to drive more side bending of our pelvis, so that side to side rocking. Some of the arm motions that are more rotation are obviously meant to rotate our pelvis and get those muscle fibers working. When we do them in combination, it again is just looking for a combo move to turn on multiple fibers through that pelvic floor. The other thing that the arm motions do is they help to turn on our thoracic spine, which is our upper back. And for a lot of us, our posture is not the best, and life dictates us to be very forward. Whether it's a mother or grandmother picking up a child, if you're a teacher and you're leaning over a desk during the day, a nurse or a physical therapist leaning over patients during the day, if you sit at a desk and you're looking over a computer all day long, we all tend to kind of fall into this slouchy posture because that's kind of where gravity takes us. And so the arm motions, a lot of times that we do, are looking to really start to turn on the thoracic spine and help with posture. Now, again, you might say, what the heck is the thoracic spine? It's great to have good posture, but what does that have to do with my pelvic floor? As the thoracic spine moves better, and as you as you start to get some lengthening through the abdominals, what happens is you actually better support the bladder because you start to actually turn on the abdominal muscles in a better way. So with lengthening, you can actually also strengthen the abdominal muscles. So as you start getting these rotations going, you start to lengthen and activate through the abdomen, which helps to better support the bladder if you have a stronger abdomen. You help to improve your posture, which again helps to lengthen the abdomen, get things moving through the pelvis a little bit easier, combined with the fact that a lot of the arm motions will drive the pelvis specifically into a certain range of motion. So a lot of times forward and back motions look to get that vertical rotation of the pelvis. Horizontal gets the horizontal rotation, and then overhead gets the side bending, combined with the turn on of the abdominal muscles to better support the internal organs kind of from the front. So if you imagine the internal organs sit on top of the pelvic floor, but they have the abdominals as a support, they have the spine in the back as a support, and then the diaphragm sits kind of on top of them. So the reason for the arm motions is multifunctional. We're looking to turn on postural muscles. We're looking to turn on thoracic spine. We're looking to lengthen and strengthen through the abdominal core to help support the internal organs from the front, as well as look to drive the pelvis into some of those different motions it needs to better activate the pelvic floor muscles themselves. So hopefully that explanation makes sense. As always, if you have any questions, always ask below. I love it, and they're great for topics for broadcasts with Britt. So have an awesome rest of your week, and we'll be back next week. Take care.